How's it going, everyone? It's question time once again, and today's video is all about making those first steps in being a graphic or web designer. Now, I've probably chosen the completely wrong time to do this recording because now it's coming into winter. This big dirty boiler in my office has just started firing up in the most inconvenient of times, and it's currently 3:10, so the school across the road is probably going to be coming out, so there's hopefully not going to be any screaming kids and screaming parents as distractions in the background of this video, but I'll power on through it anyway. So the questions for this week are, first up is from Sheena Vijan, and she asks, I need your suggestions on how to start my work as a website and graphic designer, as in how I should develop my portfolio for myself, because I've only done just one graphic design project as yet. And then a fairly similar question is from Peterson, and he asks, hey Chris, looking for an opinion on resumes in regards to graphic design positions. I've had no real design jobs, and the only thing I can put down for work experience is from retail and restaurant jobs. Should I even bother? So first up, just to touch on Chris's question, I definitely think it's worth putting down those jobs, and it's definitely what I did on my CVs and resumes, whatever you want to call them. I used to have a couple of jobs when I was in my teenage years. I used to work at a greengrocer's when I was 15, 16, and then I went and worked at Curry's electrical store from 17 right through to about 4 years, I think. And I definitely put those on my CV. It just shows that you've got some work experience, and you've got those, like responsibility to work in a certain position in a company, so to speak. Even though they might not be design positions, I think as long as the company or the agency that you're applying for, as long as they're expecting to be taking on like a student designer or a junior designer, they're not kind of expecting you to have had prior design experience from a full-time job. Obviously, if you're going in and trying to apply for a senior designer position and you haven't got any experience as a designer in an agency, then you might run into some troubles then. But I don't think I don't think you should exclude them altogether. I definitely think you should still put them on your resume or CV. But don't forget, you could also put down any kind of like informal design work that you might have done. You might have done a newsletter project in school or something like that. Or if a lot of people are members of a church, and they tend to do like things for the church and things like that. So if you've got any like kind of informal sort of design work that you've done outside of your restaurant job or through school, then that's definitely something you could put down in your CV as well, which leads on to into Sheena's question about the things that you can put in your portfolio before you've done any major client work. There's nothing wrong with putting personal projects in a portfolio, and you might actually be surprised that a lot of veteran designers actually have quite a lot of personal projects in their website portfolios. It's not always client work that's in there. Obviously, the more client work you can put in, the better, because it shows that it's a live project. But there's nothing wrong with putting in work in there that you've done for yourself, or even work that you've done for a fictional client. You'll notice a lot of these tutorials that I do on my website, whether it's for logo designs, like stationery designs or website designs, I'll sometimes make up a company and do the design work for that company to base the tutorial on. I mean, a recent one was that black denim, what was it called? Black Denim something co. That sort of vintage logo that I did. That was just a random name that I just come up with because it kind of fits into that sort of vintage theme. And a lot of the website designs I've done for Line 25 for the tutorials, and I had to take the Photoshop design and code it up into HTML, CSS. Some of them have been WordPress themes, and other ones have just been random, companies. Or I think I remember doing one for like what was it now? Some sort of like country park or something that I just came up with some random ideas. I'll kind of get an idea on what sort of style I want to do, and then make up a company to suit that style. And so it's kind of like the opposite way around that you do in a proper client project. But it gives you that opportunity to create the work, and you don't have to go through the whole, the client to sending your designs to and from the client and getting everything changed around. Because sometimes you'll find when you start doing your client work, you have to end up with less work to put in your portfolio because you're never happy with it by the time it's been trashed by the client. But in order to fill out that initial portfolio, I definitely advise just putting in work that you've done through personal experimentation, work that you've done through following tutorials, and took those techniques and put them into your own sort of designs. And like I mentioned, a lot of pro designers and veteran designers have got loads of stuff that they've done that's not for a client in their own portfolio. A lot of the artwork that you see in the art and design inspiration fix that I post every other week, a lot of that work's just things that people have done in the spare time, just because they've got a passion to create stuff like that. However, with all that said, I've personally not been in a position where I've had to look through CVs and look through people's design portfolios to take anyone on. But I can remember seeing quite a few tweets from people in current design companies and agencies who do that on a daily basis. So hopefully, if there's anyone out there who's watching this video who does have to look through CVs, look through portfolios, maybe they could put down in the comments what sort of things you're looking for, and maybe share some advice and help those students and people who are just looking to get their first design jobs, help them out. But hopefully my little tips helped out. As always, if you want to ask a question or give me a topic idea for a future video, either drop it down in the comments on this page or video, or you can fire it me over on my FormSpring account. That's formspring.me/Chris Spooner. So thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you all later.